What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where I, Graham G.S. Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. And today we're talking the latest episode of Talking Smack for April 24th, 2021. So this is going up a day later. Usually I try to put them up on Saturdays, but I had my interview with Eddie Edwards go up yesterday and my SmackDown audio review, if you haven't already checked it out. But really no rush here, just because there really wasn't anything out of the ordinary about this episode of Talking Smack. It was still solid, the usual quality episode, but nothing really worth writing home about. Some good storyline progression there with Cesaro. Bayley was entertaining. Sami Zayn was entertaining. The usual good Paul Heyman rant at the end. But that was about it. It really felt like a missed episode. Not really the, oh man, you gotta watch this episode. I saw recently that the episode from 2 weeks ago, with only Edge on it for like 25 minutes, Edge and Heyman going back and forth, the clip from that episode on WWE's YouTube channel did like over 1 million views, which is unbelievable. That was an awesome episode. I don't remember a lot about last week, but this was decent for what it was. Last week, I think, was the champion episode. This was still all right, but really, again, nothing must say. So we opened the episode of Kayla kind of recapping what went down on SmackDown with Roman challenging Daniel Bryan to a title versus career match. Bryan doesn't have to retire, but he doesn't want him on SmackDown anymore if Roman Reigns retains next week. She also teases possible new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions if we get a rematch between Jackson Baszler and Natalya and Tamina, and those two teams eventually clash again for those titles. So then the first guest they welcome on is Cesaro, who does not say a single word. Heyman kind of talked for a few minutes saying that he's always respected Cesaro, but Cesaro's words aren't worth Roman Reigns' ears. And he kind of like runs him down for a little bit before Cesaro smiles at him, shakes his hand, stops smiling, and then just walks off, looking like a badass. Cesaro has come across really well so far, and really his actions have done the speaking for him. At some point, he will have to talk. He did a little bit of talking on SmackDown this week. At some point, though, unless they give him a manager, which I don't think they will, I mean, not really just Daniel Bryan, but like beyond that, they need to allow him to speak from the heart, which he did on Talking Smack a few months ago. It wasn't the greatest promo of all time, but it felt real. We need to see more of that Cesaro on SmackDown and even here on Talking Smack, because if not, there's no chance that this main event push that he's getting currently is going to be maintained. It's really just going to be a one and done and have that be it. So he needs to be able to show that he can hold his own on the mic. He's no Roman Reigns, but he needs to cut some promos and get more comfortable with doing it. You can't get better unless you do it more often. He's been in the company for a decade now. He's going to be he'll never be, a top-notch talker in this company, but he can be better if they gave him more practice and time and experience. So anyway, Cesaro walks off. Heyman took that opportunity to just completely turn on the guy by calling him arrogant, which was funny. They then welcome on Bayley, who is wearing Sami Zayn's new pro wrestling t-shirt, where I think all the proceeds go to some sort of a charity. Sami Zayn is amazing with the charities and donations and stuff like that, so I think that's cool. Bayley plugging it here was awesome. And Sami Zayn was here on this show, so they never actually got to interact, which was disappointing. But Kayla Braxton brought up how Bianca Belair and Bayley is now official for the WrestleMania Backlash show for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And are you ready? Are you nervous? Blah, blah, blah. Bayley goes, listen, I am the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion of all time. Why would I be nervous? That's a longer reign than Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Naomi. I faced them all. I beat them all. And I did watch Belair and Banks at WrestleMania from the crowd because I study my competition. I didn't know who would win, but look at my WrestleMania record. I hosted the damn thing this year. I've retained the Raw Women's Championship of WrestleMania. I've defended the SmackDown Women's Championship of WrestleMania. I've been Tag Team Champion at WrestleMania. I have been in the Battle Royal, one of the last few eliminated before losing to Naomi in 2018. She's done it all at WrestleMania. Why would she have any reason to be nervous for that upcoming rematch for the championship? And what Belair has done, for as impressive as she is, does not top what Bayley has done so far in WWE. The last guest they have on is Sami Zayn, who points out the difference between being, having a conspiracy against them and then being a conspiracy theorist. And it's typical WWE propaganda in Sami's words. They talk about his dance moves. I feel like he's like the fucking new Zemo of the WWE. And that's not a bad thing. His dance moves are hilarious, but they've been a major talking point among fans, and now Kayla Braxton for the last couple of weeks. But he talks about his dance moves, and that's what the t-shirt, portrays him doing on the shirt that Bayley was wearing earlier on in the episode. So if you want to buy the shirt, I believe it's on Pro Wrestling Tees. And then, again, nothing really here of note is said. Heyman and Zayn just kind of hug it out. He wants Sammy to hug Kayla Braxton, and he doesn't. He just kind of walks off. And then really the last part of the episode is Heyman going off on Daniel Bryan, because next week's main event, as I mentioned earlier, will be Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan for the Universal Championship. If Bryan wins, then yeah, he wins, becomes champion. He can defend the damn thing against Cesaro if he wants. But if Roman wins, not only is he still Universal Champion, but Bryan is gone from the Blue brand. He doesn't want to see him on a show anymore, Roman said. So Bryan is gone completely, whether that's Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, American Dragon, Brie Bella's baby daddy, all this other stuff. Heyman said he will not be able to be on SmackDown anymore if Bryan loses next week on SmackDown. And he should have learned at WrestleMania when he fell victim to the most decisive pinfall of all time. When he and Edge were stacked up, that new shirt that depicts Roman doing just that at WrestleMania, getting stacked and pinned and beaten at WrestleMania, should have learned, but now he's going to have to face the consequences. And Heyman here guarantees a Roman Reigns victory next week. So unless it's some sort of a swerve, I assume Roman is winning. But I'm looking forward to that main event. That should be fucking great. But this was again, middle-of-the-road show, entertaining, nothing really of note said. Even Heyman's rant was not, on par with what it usually is. But Bayley was entertaining, furthering the feud between her and Belair. Cesaro played his role exactly as he should have, staying silent, which was great. And then Sami Zayn was entertaining as always. So some quality stuff here, really nothing worth going out of your way to see. But it's a pretty decent episode nonetheless. So those are my thoughts on the April 24th, 2021 edition of Talking Smack. Thank you guys for checking out the video. I appreciate it. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content, including exclusive interviews almost every single day. We've had one go up this week from Damian Priest, John Cena, Eddie Edwards, Jordan Grace, among others. So be sure to subscribe, hit that bell button to be notified every time a new video goes up, and never miss a video. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys. I'm Graham G. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.